I never thought that I would make this video, but it's time. They finally got Diddy. They finally got him. But the thing is, there's so many more men out there, just like Diddy, who are abusers, who use their fame to lure women in and abuse them. And I wanted to come on here to say that it is time to out every single abuser in the industry, every single one. They all need to be held accountable. And the thing is, I would be a hypocrite if I came on here and I was telling other women that they need to speak up if I'm unwilling to speak up. I was at Chris Brown's house by his friend Seiji the Gemini. Yes, I know I should have never been at Chris Brown's house in the first place. This happened when I was 18 years old. I'm 26 now, as of today, and I should have never been there. But Seiji the Gemini me at his house. Chris Brown my friend when she was underage. She was under the influence and she was 16 years old. These were on 2 different occasions. But the thing is, all these men, all these abusers, they hang out together. Chris Brown and Seiji the Gemini are. Why have I been afraid to come out all this time? You want to know? It's because right after Seiji me, he had me sign a paper saying that everything that happened was consensual. And he was my Uber drive. He got me the Uber to Chris Brown's house. And I didn't have any money. And I needed him to get me the ride back. And like I didn't know if I didn't know what was gonna happen if in that moment, I was in shock. I couldn't believe that I don't really know how to talk about this. I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know that Chris Brown and Seiji the Gemini are and I think that we all of us girls, guys, everybody who has been abused by powerful people in the entertainment industry, I don't care if I signed an NDA. I don't care if I signed this paper that said that it was consensual when it wasn't, and you know that. I wonder how many girls that you had signed something just like that. That is diabolical. The fact that you had that paper brought out right after is so sickening, and it tells me that you've done this before, that something else has happened, and there's no taking back. I already posted on Twitter, so I just feel like I have to make a video now too, and it's time for everybody, and now I can tell other people that they should speak out too. I'm not gonna say who the girl was, because that's her decision if she wants to come out and say what happened between her and Chris Brown, but she was 16 at the time. She was under the influence. I don't care anymore. I don't care, because I know the truth, and the truth is more important than anything, and I'm so happy. It's time. It's time for all of you, for everybody to know who you all are. People are not going to be afraid anymore.
So Seiji the Gemini saw the video and stated this from his IG. I ain't turning off nothing. LOL. Only people she not lying to is the police, cause they don't give out careers. Hashtag find a new hustle. Another woman stated this. I outed Seiji the Gemini as this type of person years ago. He's a sick, weird man who had me trapped in his home with my phone in a box for 2 days while consistently intimidating me and then going after me when I told him I was on my period. Now, this is my thing here, right? And a lot of people say that anytime a woman comes out and say this, that they're brave and they're always honest, they're always truthful. Why would any woman want to lie about something like this, even though we can look back through history and see and count beyond 2 hands on the amount of women that have come out and lied directly on Black men? Again, now, I don't know who this Seiji directly is. I've seen a number of women state that he's had a variety of instances of things like this taking place. Again, I don't know who this person is. If this is the case, then again, take him directly to court. All of the women that accuse this guy, they say that they have proof or what have you, lawyer up and go directly after whoever Sage is. Prove what it is that you're stating in court in front of a group of peers versus going directly online, because it's not going to play out the way that you would like it to play out if all of the accusations that are being stated at this moment in time are true. Now, for the Chris Brown instance there, she stated that she went to Chris Brown's house when she was 18. Then she stated that her friend, who was 16 during the time, went to Chris Brown's house and went to a party and was inebriated or basically impaired. And she wanted to state allegedly that Chris Brown did things to her. Again, nobody has any type of proof in order to verify any of these things. She stated that it was her friend, and she said that she was going to allow her, if she felt comfortable or whenever she wanted to, come out and tell, quote unquote, her truth about what happened in between her and Chris Brown. The question that I have specifically is, where are the parents? Correct? I'm just asking, where are the parents? The other thing as well would be the receipts for the Uber. But now going back and thinking about it, I think she stated she had him call her an Uber. I'm not sure how long Uber keeps records or receipts. If it is the case that she was at Chris Brown's house and Gemini called an Uber, then that would be directly on those records from 2016. Again, dealing with a friend that was 16, there is no verifiable proof or evidence, nor has the friend or whoever that woman is come out at this moment in time and spoke her part on this instance. My question would be, where are the parents? How is it possible that both you guys, 18 and 16, were able to get out of the home and go to an adult party, go to a mansion? What's happening? What's taking place at home where this is allowed, where this seems to be a normal occurrence? The other question I would have would be, were both you and the friend at the parties? Because you said this was two different occasions. Were you both at those parties at the same time? And if the answer would be yes, then my next question follow up would be, if something happened to, because she didn't give specifics, but I'm just going off of information. Let's say if the 16-year-old, if something happened to the 16-year-old, then why then would you go to a party where said things happened, right? Or if it didn't happen with the 60-year-old person, it happened with you, then why would both of you then go to a place where this happened? Again, I just have the same question because it would make no sense. If you would have a friend that had an instance that something like this would have taken place, I would believe that she would trust you as a confidant in order to tell you that, yo, something very bad happened. I wanted to tell you this. I can't go to the police. I can't go to my parents. You know, I'm afraid nobody's going to believe me but you, right? And again, I'm just trying to figure out how this all really works, because there's a lot of things that aren't, in a sense, making full, complete sense. The other thing as well is the fact, I want to say about during 2016-ish, you had the different movements that were going on, especially with Gloria Albright, right? You had the Time Is Up, movement, along with the Me Too. Should have been still happening during that time, or some residuals, right? During that time, women were cleaning house when it dealt with the mainstream media from top all the way to bottom. It was no stone left unturned. you saw Matt Lauer lose his job, and he was on television for years. And then a woman came out and said something, it was over, right? You have people from Fox losing their job, people from ABC, and so on and so on and so on. So, there was a lot of movement during that time, and you had a lot of women coming out. I'm talking about gangs of women coming out and saying things. That was the moment in time where any and every woman would be believed if they said any and everything about a male celebrity. But again, that was not the case. None of these things came directly out. And I also want to highlight the fact that Chris Brown is technically an easy target at this moment in time because pretty much the world and the internet hates Chris Brown. Also due to the effect of that, he is a black man and rich. Again, number one target, also given history of the past, which is again in the past. But people still bring that up in order to justify accusations or in order to state that, yeah, he did this, when none of these people have any type of proof to go off of. Because if they did, they would hurry up and any lawyer would take this case. Just be mindful. If she had 100% evidence, any lawyer would take this case and it would be open and shut. It would be an open and shut case. But that's not where we are at this moment in time. And you have a lot of women who are Caucasian online 100% eating up the story and believing any and everything that people have to say negative directly about Chris Brown. And my main question is, if you're talking about clearing out the whole industry, I find it very interesting that the only time people want to clean things or specifically attack is if it has to do with the face of a black male, right? When we should be clearing the whole industry. I'm talking about all sides. Don't matter the religion. It doesn't matter the demographics, any of that, right? The same effort. If the person is black and they did exactly what you said that they did, no problem. Showcase the proof. Let it be an open book and let whatever happens, happens. And then deliver that exact same energy to the Caucasian side of the music and the entertainment industry. And I've said this before, I'm looking for all of this to be cleared out. But whenever I state this, I only happen to see one face directly out here being the poster child for this. And I'm like, that's a little bit weird. It's a little bit weird because I can go through different stories, even when it dealt with rock, and different other types of music where men of other races have been stated to have done this throughout the years. Documentaries directly on this, but nobody talks about that. Even with the proof and everything being out there, nobody highlights it. Nobody goes specifically directly at them, tries to end their careers or anything like that, which I find a little bit odd. Again, if this is a problem that we're talking about that is in the industry, and clearly we can tell that it's in the industry by looking at some of the things that have transpired, right? But yet again, why is it that people seem to go after one demographic over the other? Why not go after both equally? That's all I'm saying. If we're talking about clearing out the whole field, making it a blank slate, then people need to directly go after everything. That means white, black, Asian, Latin, male, female, because that's the other thing that a lot of people don't want to talk about. That amongst some of the individuals that these women want to come out and talk about, they don't call out the women who, in a sense, bring them to these parties, tell them about these parties, coerce them to start, drinking and taking part in different party festivities and all these other types of things. And then when it's time to find those women ain't nowhere to be seen. But like I said, people ain't ready for that conversation. People are not ready for the women that come and find whoever these other women or girls are and bring them directly to whatever said events or parties and all this other type of, like I said, it's a lot of fixtures in this house, but people only want to, focus on the one dirty spot that's at the front door versus looking at the rest of the rug throughout the whole house. It's crazy. Like I said before, we're going to see what is going to take place specifically with this story. I'm going to do my best to give you guys the utmost information whenever people happen to respond or bring other things up. Like I said, I find this quite interesting that it came up during the time after Diddy was, you know, put directly in prison. Now people want to start saying stuff. So like I said, don't be too shocked when people start bringing up other names, other rappers, other black male musicians. Don't be too surprised because they're not going to talk about anybody else. It's going to be a all black-a-thon when it deals with quote unquote cleaning up and clearing out the industry. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.